Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Jeannie, and in today's video we'll be doing a review of the YSL Touche Eclat All-In-One-Glow Tinted Moisturizer. If that's something that you might be interested in, please keep on watching. We are featuring today the YSL Touche Eclat All-In-One-Glow. This is not a new product. It's been around for a couple years. I believe that they released it in the summer of 2018, but it is new to me. I recently found it when I was wandering around Sephora, and the name piqued my interest because I am aging. I'm 49 years old, and I also have normal to dry skin. So anything that says glow or dewy finish is something that I'm interested in. I went ahead and color matched myself in the store, and then I went even a step further and I went ahead and just did my whole face. I knew I was going to be there for a while, so I wanted to see if it settled into my lines and wrinkles. As you can see, I have quite prominent forehead wrinkles. I've got some pretty prominent smile lines, and my pore situation isn't the greatest. It's not so much my pores as it is, again, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I did have chickenpox when I was 27, and I had a pretty bad case of it and ended up with a lot of texture on my face as a result. So those are the things that I battle, and almost every foundation, tinted moisturizer will settle into my lines. But I found that as I walked through the store, this product did not. And so I had to buy it. So just to tell you a little bit about it, in case you don't know, don't have any experience with it, I think it's a great product for with maturing skin, especially if you have textural issues or dry skin. What YSL says about it, it is an oil-free moisturizer, delivers smoother, more even complexion, lasting hydration, and a luminous glow. This beauty favorite captures all the light reflecting power of Touche Eclat for a radiant finish with medium coverage. Made with hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and antioxidants, the hydrating formula gives you a no makeup look. I agree with that. It looks like your skin, but better, and it does provide a dewy finish and a luminous glow. It is receiving on the YSL website, there were 60 reviews and it was getting a 4.7, and on Sephora they have 528 reviews and it's just over 4 stars. So people like it. Also, you should know that the price is $48. It does come in a squeezy tube, but it has a pump and your standard 30 mils, 1 ounce of product. So I would say that this is not like a typical tinted moisturizer. I would say that it's more like medium coverage foundation from my experience thus far. The way that I like to apply it, believe it or not, is with my hands, not with tools in that regard. It does perform as a tinted moisturizer in that if you try to use a makeup sponge, it's going to absorb most of your product. And with a brush, it's kind of streaky, and then you have to follow it up with your sponge anyway. So the way that I found that it performs best is with my hands, the same way you would apply a moisturizer. And then it does kind of sink into the skin and become one with your skin. What I like to do is apply it with a luminous primer. And what I've been using, and I just love the way that it looks, is the Farsali Glass Skin. This is a wonderful primer. It not only gives you a radiance, but it also smooths the skin out. I mean, glass skin, it's not just the radiance, it is also the smoothing effect. But it doesn't make this product too luminous. I guess we'll just jump in there. I have chatted too much already. And what I do is what you see so many of the youngsters doing on, and I use about half a dropper full. What you see the youngsters doing on Instagram is what I was going to say. And then I just spread it around like you would any other. I would say it's kind of a thick formula. Feels kind of thick. Not occlusive though. It's not occlusive. It does have a tacky base. Then I just pat this in really well. And like I said, it does have a tacky base. So, that makes it better to adhere to the product. And once I get that all in, I go ahead and I take, just like I would a moisturizer, and I put it in my hand. I use 2 pumps. They're not very big pumps. I would say that they're less than average. And I just, same thing like I would apply a moisturizer to my skin. I just rub it in. I'm looking in the monitor now to see if it looks representative of what I'm seeing in the mirror. And it does, except maybe a little more luminous because of the light. That's what I do. Just massage it in really well. And then try not to get it in my eyebrows because I don't like to have to brush a lot of excess product out of my eyebrows when it comes time to do the brows. Yes, I'm one of those that does the complexion first and then my eyes. I know I'm crazy because I don't bake. So I have to hope and pray that I don't have fallout. Anyway, then I go behind that with my Sonia Kashuk sponge and just kind of bounce it in to pick up any excess product that might be left there. It does set down, but not completely. You're still going to be left with, I wouldn't say overly dewy, but kind of a slightly moist finish, which I don't mind. It's not troublesome to me, and it doesn't move around. Now, it'll probably get on your phone. We can do a phone test. After I'm all finished with my full face, we can do a phone test and see just how much transfer we get. So, I'm looking over here in this mirror as well. I've got a mirror in front of me, a couple mirrors over here, and a monitor here so I can really see what's going on. I know that people hate it when you're not looking in the camera, so I'm trying to be conscious of that. But at the same time, I need to see what I'm doing, folks. And then I just take, because it's such a close shade match to me, I just take what's on the sponge and drag it down my neck. I don't need to apply it there. I can just use the excess. Make sure to get in here around the nose, the nostrils, so I don't have any product gathering there. And then, okay, so that's what it looks upon application. And yes, it is quite luminous right now, but it hasn't had time to sit down. So give it a few minutes. It's not going to be this luminous. But I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, finish the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like after it's completed and do that phone test. So be right back. Okay, so face finally done. If I put my check-in video in here, you'll see I had to go in the middle of my eye look to pick my kids up, and it's really cold outside. My eyes started watering. I had to come home and redo my entire eye look. So, if you're interested, I did do this with the tartelette toasted palette. I'll have this up in a separate video. It'll be like a hooded eye tutorial. Anyway, I think that the foundation is wearing quite well, and it is, let's see now, it is 6:44. 6:44 p.m. Okay, so that's what, 5 hours? I think it's still got several hours in it, and I see it kind of fading away gracefully. I don't see it doing anything that, maybe a little touch up might not fix. I don't feel greasy at all. That's just the luminosity. So if you like a luminous foundation or a tinted moisturizer, I think this is a really nice one. Of course, I have highlighter on top of this, and I also have the glass skin primer underneath. So with it on its own, it probably won't be quite as luminous, but I think that it is flattering on maturing skin. The only downside that I found, and I didn't find this out until after I purchased it, is that there is an abysmal shade range. Only 12 shades. But they do, since it's a tinted moisturizer, they're supposed to be more forgiving. And it does go from very light to, pretty dark. I can't, contest to that because I didn't actually check out those shades while I was in the store. It did seem to me that there were more than 12 shades, so I'm kind of confused. But anyway, if anyone has tried this and they know of a similar product that performs in the same way or even better and has a broader shade range, please comment in the comment box below. And I'd really love to try it and perhaps do a review for you. Okay, so final check-in. I hope that light is not too bright for you, but I wanted you to be able to get a really good look at my face. I've been through it, y'all. I have been through it. I am tired. I have a headache. I lost a nail. It's been one of those days. But let's look at the foundation. Okay, so first of all, it's extremely glowy, dewy. It's not greasy. I don't get greasy. It's not greasy. It's just extremely glowy. So, and I think it got more luminous as time went on. I think perhaps I applied too much of the glass skin underneath. Next time, I think I'll go in with a different primer and see how that works. It has settled into lines this time, and I think that I would attribute that to, I did use some powder. I did test to see if the Charlotte Tilbury powder would help minimize my pores. I did use a little bit on my forehead, so that may be why it is settling into my forehead lines and into my smile lines. I used a powder puff to kind of press in the powder to see if that would help with the pore situation. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I mean, lesson learned. I don't know that my pores, I'm looking in the monitor, my pores are more or less visible than normal, but I do know that it's settling, and the last several times that I've wore it, it is not settled. Also, earlier, I promised you a phone test, and I was on the phone a little while ago with my daughter and had it resting on my shoulder. So I got the phone test, but I wanted you to see it. So I'm just going to hold it here for a few seconds, and that way you can see that this is, in fact, not transfer proof. You can see that face print in it. Yeah. But I will say that it does wear down. It is 11 o'clock. So I've had it on for 10 hours. That's a pretty long time. And for it to still be intact, it does look quite makeup-y. I do also attribute that to the powder that I tried to apply to diminish the pore situation. Also, I use powder products on my face. So I use the Jouer light medium bronzer as my contour and bronzer today. So there's a powder product that was on my forehead and my cheeks. Of course, it didn't come down in this area. And then also the blush and the cookie highlight, which is still large and in charge and beautiful. I did apply a little bit of it to just this section of my forehead, but the bronzer was around the perimeter down to my eyebrows. I also used the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer that I always use. My verdict on it is I like it, but I think next time I will not use the Glass Skin as a primer. I will probably either just go with my regular skincare and sunscreen, or perhaps the Farsali Skin Tune Blur. I may try it with that instead because, you know, I was kind of concerned a little bit about the pore situation. The Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer with perhaps the Tatcha Silk Canvas, or maybe the Strivectin Line Blur Factor, or, gosh, I just have so many options. The e.l.f. mineral primer, that's pretty good at disguising, hiding your pores. And also another really good option is the Revlon Photo Ready pore reducing primer. This is the pink one, not the white one. If you're interested in trying this, this is a very good primer for if you have issues with your pores. So yes, I'll still use it. I like it. It stands the test of time. It's still going strong at 10 hours. I think that with the right primer, this would go on and on and on and on and on. Just for curiosity's sake, I want to try. This is a no-name pencil brush that I've had for a very long time. It's nice for going into lines. I'm going to go in and just kind of use it as an eraser, or I don't know, spread the product back out. And let's see what it looks like. Let's just see. Let's see if we can salvage this and keep it going for a little while. Got that out of there real quick, and it's wearing away on my chin. But if we were to go in just for shits and giggles, let's just try a little bit of powder. I mean, look at that. Just knocked it down just a little bit. I mean, I just tapped in there once. And looky there. Maybe even do it a little bit. Oh, it's hard for when I'm looking in the monitor. Like out here where we wouldn't necessarily want to see the glow. So much so. Tone that down a little bit. And then let's see if this will remedy the disappearing on the chin and the nose. Yeah, I think it could go for a couple more hours. What you think? Thanks for coming by. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That way you won't miss any of my videos when they go up. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.